There are many ways we teachers might get burned making assumptions. We might overvalue some colleagues' tales of a student's misbehavior and then foolishly start off a school year trying to fuss that student into compliance instead of seeding a quality relationship. Or we might figure that a student's neighborhood, ethnicity, or gender accurately predicts the kind of books they'd be interested in, and then only ever suggest that particular genre during independent reading time. While teaching virtually during the COVID-19 pandemic, often seeing black Zoom boxes and avatars instead of children's bright smiles, we all hopefully discovered just how dangerous it can be to assume that we know what our students are going through, how hard they are working, or what skills and knowledge they have retained. Accepting these faulty presuppositions can lead to mistakes, many of which hurt children. But when it comes to leading race conversations in our classrooms, there is one assumption that threatens to undermine all of our hard work even before we get going. It's not one of the nefarious ones that might spring to mind like, "These kids can't discuss tough stuff," or "Systemic racism doesn't impact this population." It's assuming that the adult world has already offered with our older students, or will eventually offer with our youngest, an abundance of good role models for race discourse. Believing this, we might expect our older students to have already learned the best ways to earnestly engage with differing opinions about race, even though the adult world may have spent years teaching them to antagonize, troll, and gaslight. We might expect these older students to instinctively embrace complexity, even though social media might have taught them to find false comfort in absolutes. Similarly, those of us who teach our youngest students might not expect bad role models to target kids who are so very little. But they do. Our young learners see their older siblings and neighbors engaging in the discourse that has been modeled for them. They have adults in their lives, in their families and beyond, who gloss over their questions and concerns when it comes to race. And when well-meaning teachers do not properly account for bad race talk role models, whether they be willfully poisonous or merely negligent, our attempts to discuss race might well hurt children or set up situations where they unintentionally wound each other.